your end of 2020 call for gold is at 1550, so not that far off what RBC have been calling for. What's driving that view for you? It's not that much higher from where we are now.
That's indeed correct, but I think for gold, let me talk about two correlations. The first one, of course, is with inflation. So we don't see massive gains in inflation, especially not in inflation expectations, which would be necessary for us to massively rise the gold price. On the other hand, there are two other aspects. The other correlation I want to mention is with negative yields. So if you draw a chart of negative yielding bonds globally, and then you plot the gold price, there's a very high correlation. And that's probably because of opportunity costs normally to have gold. There's no dividend, you have to pay for storage. But in a negative or very low yielding environment, that opportunity cost is very low or even positive if you talk from that perspective. Hence, you see that massive correlation. And that's why we wanted to increase the gold price forecast. And of course, the third aspect is something we already see today. When there is tension, it's a good diversifier in the portfolio. So hence, we've increased the forecast, not to a massive one, because we don't expect inflation to go higher, but you should own some gold in the portfolio. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and you've mentioned finally there that geopolitical risk, Christian, which we've all woken up to this morning. This incident that we've seen in the Middle East, which has reverberated across all asset classes, how much does this concern you in terms of the risk and the potential underpricing of geopolitical risk by investors in 2020?
Well, I think 2019, we have talked a lot about geopolitical risk, but nothing really has materialized. And I said at the beginning, maybe 2020 is a bit different. So I think this escalation is there, and that could stay for quite some time. Maybe throughout the year. It's an election year in the US. We shouldn't forget about this. So there will be a lot of focus on politics. We also call this year politics trumps policy, maybe more politics than policy, really. So that's something to take into account and position portfolios accordingly.